Surya. I'm working as an AI engineer at Prediction Guard. I'm working as an AI engineer at Prediction Guard. I'm really excited to share some exploratory work we're doing around some safety concerns our customers have expressed, especially when it comes to fine-tuning with sensitive data. So at Prediction Guard, we work with organizations that have internal networks like regional teams or departments. They're each handling their own customer emails. Since these emails contain sensitive information, they can't be shared across the network. But there's a lot of potential to use this data to build domain-aware LLMs that can then be used to automate customer support and maintain brand voice, etc. So, like even in the previous talk, we know that, and also just in general, we know that LLMs can memorize training data. When you fine-tune LLMs using centralized training, there's a real risk of data memorization, where the model unintentionally remembers and regurgitates data it saw during training. A really well-known popular example is the GitHub Copilot attack. Researchers found that sometimes it generates API keys and passwords that it memorized from the training data. This kind of behavior highlights a really serious privacy risk. And that's why it's really important to think about how we fine-tune these models, especially when we're working with sensitive data. This slide shows an example of a data leak I encountered while I was fine-tuning a model, and it responded with an actual Bitcoin wallet address from the training data. And to get an indication of this risk at scale, we started by fine-tuning a 3 billion parameter Llama model on an open source data set. This was done using centralized fine-tuning, and our goal was to get a baseline indication of the privacy risk. To do that, we looked at perplexity, which is basically how confident the model is when generating text. So a lower perplexity means the model is more confident, and that could mean it's seen the data before. We found that the model was way more confident on the data it was trained on compared to new unseen data. As you can see, there's like a 3 times difference in the perplexity. This suggests that there might be a potential data memorization issue. In other experiments, we have observed models leak stuff like email addresses, wallet IDs, and other quasi-identifiers just by prompting it with the right kind of tokens. Further, proving this. So now that we have established a baseline, we can move on to federated learning. We know federated learning lets us fine-tune models without data leaving local systems. And this is super useful in highly regulated spaces. But is this enough? To understand this, we fine-tuned the same model on the same data set with simulated clients, but this time we used a federated setup. Even in this distributed setup, we observed that the model still showed lower perplexity on the seen data compared to unseen data, almost on par with the centralized fine-tuning. This suggests that memorization could still occur, even when the data never leaves the local clients. And that's just one part of the risk. Federated models are vulnerable to a range of other attacks, like inference attacks, which is basically trying to figure out if a certain data point from the training data is present using the inference output, or reconstruction attacks, in which we attempt to reverse engineer raw data from gradients or model weights, or even the poisoning attacks that was discussed in just the previous talk. So now I would like to introduce another privacy-preserving approach into the mix. Unlike traditional methods that add noise to model parameters, either locally or to the aggregated updates using DPSGD, this technique involves generating synthetic data independent of the federated learning process. But why should we choose this over DPSGD that can be applied locally or centrally? Specifically, in contrast to adding noise to the weights, when we generate synthetic data, we do this locally even before training. And this protects against the inference and reconstruction attacks and reduces the attack surface. Generating synthetic data also involves creating new data sets that might mimic the underlying training data. This approach allows for greater control over which patterns to preserve, like which structure, or even maintaining class balances while we safeguard the sensitive information. DPSGD may not offer us this kind of control. And in scenarios where clients have heterogeneous data, it can lead to increased communication overhead and potential challenges in model convergence. And by generating synthetic data, we're able to make the clients more homogeneous, and this can improve computational efficiency. So the underlying idea in this technique to generate this DP synthetic data, it's done. So in general, the synthetic data, when LLMs are used, is done by fine-tuning language models on private data sets using DPSGD. The approach that we are exploring is unique because it does not rely on fine-tuning or retaining the language model. Instead, it generates synthetic data during inference. When generating synthetic data with an LLM, we first start with a batch of sensitive data that's passed through the model. And this produces raw logits for each token. These logits are then aggregated, and then noise is added directly to the aggregated sensitive logits, basically after converting them into probabilities. And then once these noisy logits are produced, we then, we have we're able to then use maybe top K sampling, top E sampling, what have you, to kind of get output that is now differentially private. And when we applied this approach alongside federated learning using a privacy parameter of epsilon 0.3, which is high privacy, we observed a higher perplexity score on the original data, which the model has not seen, as it was fine-tuned using synthetic data. The fact that the perplexity isn't too much higher than the centralized training on original data also suggests that the fine-tuned model can still perform the task comparably well. Of course, there's room to formalize these findings further, particularly in terms of the data leakage, the privacy utility trade-offs, and whether it is actually efficiently able to defend against these attacks. And that brings me to the end of the talk. If you're interested in diving deeper, my team at Prediction Guard and I are actively working on challenges like this with our customers. We'd love to chat more if this is something you're exploring too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions in the room? Yes.
Thank you for your presentation, and so congratulations. Okay, my question was about the flow, because you show us that the differential privacy, the noise is added in the aggregated logits, but so you start from the assumption that aggregation is not malicious. Because if it would be malicious, it could be corrupt, so it could be steal maybe okay. Because in other techniques, the noise is added on the local parameters, on the local weights. Okay, so maybe it's another problem, but you start from this assumption, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also just to kind of clarify, and even while aggregating, we can do this locally even before it leaves the infrastructure. I don't know if it will completely solve the problem, but this is also something we can do with an open source model before we train. So that might help too.